Gotta keep moving. Keep the blood flowing.
Work.
All right, so you shot the mile yesterday. You're the one to get the first shot off.
Thank God.
So you got extra time this morning to sleep in. Having done that last night, now you come today. How do you feel? You feel more confident, or what's?
Yeah, I feel confident in the skills, but I'm like definitely sore, like my ribs, my hips, collarbone, my jaw. But I feel definitely like it's smoother. It's gonna go smoother today, just because the skills, keep refining them. You know, get used to this wind up here a little bit more.
It's going to be brutal.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about the mover. What were your thoughts?
Well, that was definitely a challenge. I did a little dance apparently after I hit it because I was so excited.
And then things do change. I don't know if that's going to be something for...
All right, so tell me about your mover.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm totally neurotic and I'm a type A person, so like I'm always looking for like the most perfect circumstance and scenario. And I have to say it was a lot of fun. It was a huge challenge, definitely stressing because it's a moving target, and there's wind and it's cold and we're like kind of on unlevel ground, so you're feeling like you're sliding. But I'm happy to say by the way, we only got one shot, so you had one shot to make it count, and I'm very happy to say that I got my shot. So I'm happy. I can't complain, and it's good to get outside of your comfort zone. And I love the saying. It's so relevant in my life, but you got to get comfortable in the uncomfortable, and that is like my life lesson.
I was frozen like a popsicle. So I got set up pretty quick, got everything into position pretty quick, and everything focus adjusted a lot faster than I was expecting I was going to be able to. But because I was in a huge rush to get off the side of the mountain because I was so cold, I think I was just rushing to take the shot, and I didn't give myself a few more dry rounds and a little bit more practice. Probably could have been better at it, but I'm not mad though, because at the end of the day I like the practice and I like just coming out here and having fun. So
Dang, it's beautiful up here.
Look at that.
You'll think it's cool up here till that wind starts blowing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful right up until then.
4727 density altitude.
Or 4600. Make a difference.
That was the density altitude?
Density altitude 4600. 4600.
And then the wind speed was, what did we say, ended up saying?
That little machine ain't gonna work down this canyon. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
So 35 and 4600.
4600 DA.
35 and 4600.
I wouldn't worry about the wind because how's the wind moving through the canyon? Is the phone doesn't calculate for the change in directions.
Okay.
So should we change it or leave it at 0?
You're gonna have to eyeball it and figure it out yourself.
Okay.
All right, come with me. Come on. All right, so the way that we're gonna work this, okay? Instead of taking an extreme amount of time and doing one shoot at a time, we're gonna pair you up with your coaches. All right, you and your coach are gonna go and shoot the 800-yard truing target. We talked about it in class, that long rectangular target, and you're gonna dial it in so that you're hitting point of aim, point of impact. So if you do anything to mess this up, if you slap the trigger, if you close your eyes before you shoot, if you do anything wrong, you will miss and miss and miss, okay? So we need to have multiple impacts, point of aim, point of impact, and then we're gonna plug that into your calculator. Do we understand? We're gonna true out our muzzle velocity. Once that is done, then you and your coach will be able to engage every single target from 200 to 1350 at your own pace. And what you're doing is you're getting a feel for the wind, you're getting a practice dialing, but you're also verifying that your calculator is correct. Do you understand? Okay, if you have any issues and your calculator does not seem to be lining up, come get me and I will help work you through it. Good to go? All right, but everything we did on the 100-yard line doesn't change. All right, I say that why? Because it seems like every time we train down there, we get perfect Then we come up here and we forget everything that we've been practicing. So your body still has to be lined up directly behind the rifle. You still have to focus on the reticle. You still have to set your parallax. You still have to have the buttstock high on the shoulder. Everything that we practice, all right? So I'm gonna set this up right where Russ is standing and show you guys what these truing targets look like. And then you'll get with your partner, your coach, and you guys will start that process. There's 5 of these targets, all right? So we'll just line it out right now. Green, and you'll understand what I mean by green. Green, red, blue, white, yellow. Okay, check it out. Who's looking first? Do you see those targets?
Yeah.
You see how the straps are different colors?
Yeah.
What's your color?
Blue.
All right, so you'll be to the right.
I don't see it.
It'll be on the right.
Okay.
Yep. See those targets?
800 yards.
Yeah.
0.6.
2 green ones.
Those are the straps. The white bar is the target.
Oh.
Make
okay.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
Yeah. Yeah, I see yellow.
Okay, so yellow is the strap. The
Yeah.
target is the white bar.
The ones that are farther out.
You see the 2 yellow straps?
Yeah.
The target's hanging from those.
Okay, so the white bar.
The white bar below it.
Okay.
Okay?
See the green, I see the, there we go. So the white is the straps, and then the bar crosses the target. Got it.
The green is the straps. What color are you?
I'm red.
You see it?
Yeah, I see the blue. I don't see the red though. Green. It's still on the same pillar? Oh, red strap. It's super white, huh? Okay, got it.
Red straps, white target. Okay. They're sitting right above the 700-yard target.
Really neat, shooting from 200 yards. So that was the first part of the day. And then the brain took a massive attack with Tyler's class. So we went in, he worked with us on elevation, windage, how to do the drop. And man, just going back and learning how to do the calculations to really dial in your target is absolutely amazing. So it took me a little while to figure out how to do this windage that we kind of ended the class on. So I'm hoping I understood everything and I can apply it today when we go out to use the fundamentals. And hopefully use the wind to my advantage instead of a disadvantage. My coach is Vanessa, and she's awesome. So she already kind of noticed like my quirks that I have right away. I do have a natural cant to the left, just I think from shooting rifle M4 carbine. So we kind of go at an angle sometimes. So I'm constantly telling myself to make sure I get right behind the buttstock to go, you know, and absorb that way. I do have a tendency to throw. I'm very tense, very muscular, I like to say. But I'd like to hold my muscles too much, which in this type of scenario with precision shooting, I'm going to wear myself out basically. So she's constantly always kind of having my left shoulder relax, you know, try not to pull it forward, make sure that they all line up, that I'm not canted. So that's a constant thing for me that I'm trying to do on my own instead of having the instructor always point out. She's really relaxing for me, so I love having her because she just kind of tells me, okay, relax, breathe in, breathe out, and I can hear her kind of in my head.
Do the same thing, hold center. Or whatever your windfall was last time.
Nice. Impact.
But once you start moving targets in different areas, it's like you really have to remember those fundamentals, because I could see myself kind of getting stressed out when I couldn't lay in that perfect position anymore when we went on the hill. I was like, man, my body's all over the place. I didn't feel comfortable. Even Tyler called me out. He was like, you don't look comfortable. You don't look confident. And I wasn't, you know, I mean, still made the target, but you can tell that I just need more repetition to really feel good in that position on different angles and everything like that.
Went through another classroom settings where we are learning all about wind calling, and honestly, it made sense to me, a lot of it. You think about wind drift in your arrow and archery, so I was able to kind of translate some of the things that I know about archery into that, and I liked learning all the calculations. I'm kind of mathematically minded like that, so I actually really enjoyed that part of the class, and I'm looking forward to figuring out how to implement that into shooting.
Kill it here.
All right.
I don't know where my target is.
This on here? Well, you can. So now you're at 11. Okay, instantly hold the left edge of that target. Just hold the left edge. 13. If you go up, there's 12, 15. Impact. Good job. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
4 seconds later, right? Go ahead, do it again. Throw it again.
I want you to find your reference points. And you should be able
Impact.
to zoom out.
Lift the bolt, drop the mag. Good job.
So far, we've finished all of our classroom time, and the worst part was the math for me. I am horrible at math. I cried my way through all of my math classes in college. And it took me writing down all of my own things in my own language before I finally picked up on how to calculate wind adjustments and whatnot.
We are at 5.8. 0.4 left.
Maybe get on there.
Yes, correct. Okay.
So from center?
Yes.
Shoot that square. Okay, so that means you can see it on there as it is.
Bullets in your magazine device. Okay. You see that splash?
I still kind of really don't know what I'm doing. Like these equations today, I'm like, can I nap for a second? Because like, what just happened? And like looking at trees and where the wind is flowing and blah, blah, blah. It's like, wow, that is like so not something that I do in my day-to-day life. So it's just so new. And then everything's like a guess. Well, if you think it's coming from this angle and then you divide by 0.75, and then you put it to this equation and then you know how many degrees to the left, but it's only for that moment.
What I want you to do is try to build a good position. Well, yeah. Use this and build something somehow. Okay? I want you to try to get settled in and aim in on that white rectangle under the green straps. Hold 7 o'clock on that circle, re-engage. Hold just below 7 o'clock on that circle.
Just below?
No bullets! Throw it in there. Just push the ball forward. Do it. Hold just below 7 o'clock under the target.
No, that gets at that. There's so many things going on.
That's enough. Rack the bolt. Rack the bolt. Do it again. Hold a little bit lower this time.
That one is actually kind of steep.
Jam it in there.
That's a little bit earlier. Pull it down like you said and back up. Okay.
Shoot the right target. You're off to the right. Try to hold 0.2 left.
Hold 0.2 to the left.
Yeah. And hold just below the target.
0.2 down and left.
Correct.
I'd get on the scope to see before we have to screw with anything else.
I just got access.
Okay.
All right, get some good hits in. Everybody happy? Comfortable? How far'd you got?
12:15.
1340.
The 12 or 13, 12 something.
12:15?
Yeah.
1000. 1210.
Cool. All right. So there's no excuse for what's about to go down, right? So we're going to do the supported positional challenge next. All right. So what this is you're going to be up off your bellies. No more prone shooting. Okay. So in the beginning, we talked about some fundamentals. What were those main three that we started with?
Bone structure.
Support, natural point of aim.
And what did you say?
Muscle relaxation.
Muscle relaxation, okay? Bone support, muscle relaxation, natural point of aim. So these are going to be extremely important for us to shoot from this object that I've chosen for you guys to engage your target from, all right? Just take this however you'd like, all right? But you are the weakest link of this entire system, all right? The rifle shoots better than you, the ammo shoots better than you, and the higher we get off the ground, all right, it just gets worse. So the more you can take out of this equation, the better you're going to be. For instance, I take this bag here. All right, we want a soft on hard contact. Rifle's hard, bag is soft. Are we balanced?
Yes.
Okay, so why would this be important?
You don't want it shooting too high or too low.
Okay, so what if we pull the rifle back here? Then what happens?
For the recoil it comes up.
Okay, if the rifle's too far back, then there's more of you that needs to be involved. Does that make sense? We want you out of it. We just want you to be the bag of bones behind the rifle, taking up recoil and pressing the trigger. Maximize contact with the ground, and it could be something as simple as I'm in a kneeling position. Now look at this leg right here. What parts of it are touching the ground?
Just your knee.
And my toe.
And your toe, yeah.
Or I could sit. Does that make sense? Now, we talk about bone support, building from the ground up, right? If I tuck my feet in, how much surface area am I covering? Limited. I'm all wobbly, right? So I want to have a nice base. Sitting here, wide base, okay? Elbow, shooting elbow. What's it supported by?
Knee.
Knee, right? So this is not combat shooting where we're like, pow, 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 pew, 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 okay? Elbow supported by the knee, right? So whatever hand you shoot with, that's the knee that's up. So you need to implement these principles to be successful for this next challenge, all right? I'll be there with you to keep pushing you. They'll be there with you to keep reminding you. So the way that this is gonna work, we have all of these structures. You got the ladder, we've got the car, we've got the building here. You can shoot off of any of these structures for 15 minutes, all right? You'll be shooting up into the mountain. So any one of the coaches will give you a target, will walk you onto one of the 60 targets that are up there. This is where you're gonna make your wind calls. This is where you're gonna adjust your parallax. You're gonna dial your dope. You're gonna build the position the best that you can. Now you have all of this badass gear from Armageddon Gear that you can use to supplement your position. So we have something like this. We also have bags to fill spaces. So you get down into this position, but you notice that the position you need to be in, there's nothing there, right? What's there now? Does that make sense? Okay. Now I'm gonna be here in this position. When I get behind the rifle, I can use this vertical support here, or I can slide all the way this way and use this vertical support. The only thing I'm missing right now is there'll be a magazine here, so it's gonna limit how far I can push forward, right? So here I am. Knees locked out, all right? Now, what am I doing with this hand?
Bracing.
Okay, I'm bracing, but I can also control the rifle. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I can hold the scope here, okay? If I go onto this side, depending on how it works, right? What can I do with this elbow? I can rest it on here. Sometimes I might have to sacrifice one thing to gain something. So for me to get my elbow here, hold the scope, pinch this, get all of this control, what did I sacrifice?
You're blading your shoulders.
I'm blading my shoulders, right? So if I'm going to sacrifice my body position, it better be worth it. And me controlling that recoil is gonna be worth it. Make sense? So, 15 minutes of practice, you're gonna get 5 rounds to shoot at any target that you want. Make sense? Except for the challenge target. Ladies, coaches, Magpul supported position challenge right here. When we conduct this challenge, you'll have 4 minutes as a shooter to build your position and engage the target with no more than 2 shots to earn an extra shot at the mile target tomorrow. You may shoot from the left or the right on this barricade, okay? The rifle must be supported by the wood. Now your body can lean into a car, your body can lean into a tire, but the rifle must be supported by the wood. Good? Yes. Your target, if you look up, you have the big mountain. Just below, you have a large tan cutout where we cut a road. On the left side of that cutout, there is a white and green man-sized target. It's at 430 yards. You guys need to make a good wind call and kind of figure out what's happening up there, all right? Your coaches will pick a target, try and walk you onto it. They'll give you the distance to practice. Any questions? Good, 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 good. Okay, coaches, you guys have them.
How are you feeling in the pack of people right now?
The pack of people as far as the girls?
Yeah, your competition.
Man, always competitions are fun. I like friendly competitions. I love, you know. But this, considering it's a competition, it is awesome. You know, a little bit more pressure. But to be honest, I mean, these girls rock. They are so cool. We're kind of all excited for each other. I mean, when you just hear it and you see all the girls, like, we're so excited to like hit it and ding. Like, I think it's funny, maybe compared to men. We're all like, yeah, woo, and we have funny noises. But everyone's like killing it. Everyone has different backgrounds, from either law enforcement or to absolutely nothing with any weapons. And we're all, I think, kind of around the same board. So it's really interesting to see. We were talking about men versus women on how we're really picky on our targets. And I think that's kind of intriguing. We take a little longer, but we're, I think, a little bit trying to get that perfect shot. So working with a whole bunch of women, it's kind of neat because I've never done it before. I've always been the only woman in a group of men. So seeing this is pretty unique. But I have to say, I mean, girl power, man. I was like, I think it's so cool. So I'm really excited to work with them all.
I'm feeling good right now. Overall, I yesterday at the end of the day, we shot groups at 100 yards, and at that point, I wasn't sure where my skill level was at just from absorbing information and then implementing it. And I shot some really good groups, so I was really excited about that. And then that gave me some confidence this morning going into the challenge.
But I just kind of like, all right, one thing after the other, like let's just one thing at a time to not get overwhelmed.
On the next episode of Queen of the Mile,
when we conduct this challenge,
it's challenge time.
You'll have 4 minutes as a shooter to build your position.
Who will impact and gain another attempt at the mile target? And who will not?
3, 2, 1.
The participants continue their quest on the next Queen of the Mile.